organized.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
Let's
yes,
just put the stream together, right?
yeah, the main idea is to. I mean, we sit like in walking distance, like almost shouting distance from each other here at the incubator, and
We
it's
pop out the window and shout.
Yeah. So we just figured, why not take our conjoined information, knowledge, and
Yes.
help each other in each other's projects, because it's always good to have an outsider give you feedback.
Exactly, which goes back to the entire art directing your own material.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah, it is hard.
Yeah.
Hey, Lion Studios.
Hey, Lion.
Almost Hellion.
Hellion.
What is that word? Hellion.
Hellion.
Like a stellar thing? Like
No, it is.
celestial body?
What's the best word? There's a good word in Swedish, but that doesn't help with the stream.
What's the word?
Hellion. It is egentligen filur in
It's
Swedish.
like
Yeah.
Racka.
So it's sort of a misbehaving kid.
Mischievous.
Yeah,
or...
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
It's also a unit in StarCraft and in Darkest Dungeon, one of my favorite games.
I can't think of any English word that fits that Swedish.
No,
Bugger.
No, but it's essentially like a mischievous kid. Oh,
Yeah, we're just watching. If we go quiet and all look in the same direction,
it's because
that's
we're
nice.
looking at the chat.
Yeah.
And my
It's not.
we have some people joining us. So hello.
Yeah, if you have any questions, just write it in the chat, and we're gonna try and keep a look at it. But I hope the rest of my team at least will run here and I don't know, tap our heads or something if there is something really important. So they're keeping a check, like Card and I there. Just shout at him. So should we get started on the awesome Vikings?
Yeah.
So first, tell us a bit about the project.
Yeah.
guys.
So we're working on our first game. We started about 12 weeks ago on a game that we call Thunder League, which is an 8-player free-for-all like brawler party game.
This is some awesome art.
Yeah, and what we're doing is we demoed the game recently at the Sweden Game Conference a couple of weeks ago, which was sort of the first showing of the game. And we have since decided that, we had decided before even that we wanted to like step up the art game a bit, as we'd done the first iteration and felt that there were some things that were lacking in like readability, and we wanted the style to be more like stylized and iconic, the style to have more style.
Yeah.
So this, what's on screen right now is like the rendered concept art of the first 2 characters that we did, that we are in fact currently reworking.
Yeah. How old are these guys? Not the characters in the world, but you know.
The art.
Yeah.
The art, like when did
you make this? How long?
I made this the first week of the project, so that would be like the second week in June.
All right.
So this is essentially the way I work is that I create a line art, so I just create the lines for the characters, then I block in the colors, and after that, if I have time, I do this type of illustration pass, which is essentially like making them look better for presentation.
Like promo stuff.
Yeah, it's essentially a way to make the concept art viable for promotional purposes, and because I like doing
we
that.
like making pretty pictures.
Exactly, and that's sort of the illustrator side of what I do. But we had, so this was made when we were essentially prototyping the first version of the game, so we didn't have like a real grasp of exactly where we wanted to go with theme and with like the feel of the game.
I'm sorry, I just laughed because I read the comments.
Wild Hammers.
No, the Viking could be Johanna's dad.
Yeah.
Was that a source of inspiration?
That was totally a source of inspiration. It's what I aspire to be.
One day.
One day
we shall return.
Exactly. And like commented as well, they were actually very much inspired by like Warhammer dwarves and Warcraft dwarves as well. Mostly with the amazing beards.
I just have to put this in there. Speaking of inspiration, I recently rediscovered the amazing artwork of the Swedish role-playing game Trudvang.
Yeah,
Have you seen that?
that is actually one of my big art inspirations. Like that
It
was
is.
my first. I'm a role playing nerd. Like,
Yeah, punch it. Oh, I see that.
Yeah, you do the thing. Yeah. So actually, those books were like some. I used to like try to draw the
Yeah.
pictures
So
in the books.
I
when I
just
was a
gonna
kid.
ask this. We all roleplay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my god, this could be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, never mind. All right.
Exactly. So that's actually also one of my big
Alright,
inspirations. But so what we were doing was sort of we had this idea of the game is a like set as sort of tavern brawl type feeling, or that was what it had initially. With these Vikings that drink magical mead, which makes them go faster and makes them drunk and violent. You know, the goal for any Viking. But we were sort of this was like the first attempt of setting a style for the game, which was this sort of we wanted it to be sort of badass and down to earth, but still down to earth, not super Warcrafty, I guess. Like the not very high fantasy. And I also wanted to experiment with making two like essentially functionally identical characters, with one being a male and one being a female.
Right.
As sort of a design challenge.
Yeah, that's
As
good.
we had initially only planned 2 characters for the game, I wanted them to have the same type of appeal. And so this is sort of what resulted in that. But this also came with a set of problems, which is essentially because we're doing a top-down brawler. They have way too much detail. Like I love detail. Also an old like Warhammer player, so I looked a lot at those illustrations when I was growing up. The crazy amounts of detail.
Yeah.
So that sort of got caught up in my work. But I didn't consider the like camera angle and distance well enough when I did these. I was too focused on making pretty pictures. So we're currently in the middle of reworking the characters and the style, which is sort of what I'm working on right now. Which we have, and this is actually more true to how I do concepts, which is line art only. This takes like significantly less time to do. So this gives me the possibility of making like a bunch of different versions in like a couple of days.
I remember this one. You sent a version of this, an earlier version of this?
An earlier version, yeah.
Right.
Like a week ago or something.
That guy had like stag horns and stuff, right?
Yeah, and I have those as a separate layer as well. We're sort of debating how what we want to go with there. But what we're aiming for with this, like the new style, is to get the characters to be more stylized. Like I took a lot of inspirations from combining the type of badass Viking with like newer Disney type stuff almost. So I tried to have that as a theme, as sort of if we did Disney super badass, how would it look?
My mind goes right away to How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah.
How to Train Your Dragon, and what's the name of it? The Banner Saga?
Yeah, the Banner
I love
Saga
that
is also like style-wise and art-wise that game is amazing.
Broliton, yeah.
Yeah, the Brulet,
right.
hey. And
if we're gonna just check out, you can see a clear difference between the concepts, even if this is still early on.
Yeah. So
it's already better. What you say? I think the focus is way better in this character, and the fact that you have taken more into account the back.
Yeah.
Since this is a part where people usually miss out, even concept artists or students trying to become concept artists, is if you get the job to say make a character concept for this kind of game, like a MOBA or a third-person game, it's almost more important to focus on the back and make details on the back, because it's what the player is gonna see.
Exactly. The way our game works, since the camera doesn't follow the characters, it's roughly 50-50. But that was one big thing, as well as what I talked about earlier, which is readability, which is essentially a fancy word of saying like how well can you make out the character, how well can you make out the different areas of the character.
I do have a picture that kind of details what we're talking about.
Mm.
Can I bring it up?
Yeah.
It's a grayscale study. Can I use this on both screens?
No. Oh, right. If you use that button, you change the screen.
I just want to. Can I drag it over?
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of grayscale, and let's see here if I can.
Yeah, I just keep it like that.
Can I do?
Yeah.
And we can bring up the chat again because it vanished. Our,
Like so?
our connection to the outside world.
Oh yeah.
What?
Is hidden.
Our chat is we don't see what they write about us.
Like so.
There.
All right. So.
Oh yeah, they want me to show the Antler version, and I'll do that in a bit as well.
All right. Now this is something we did for our game, Ruin, which is also a top-down brawler, but more of a
Like
more
MOBA.
more MOBA inspiration.
Yeah.
And you play. It's not a local game. It's a online versus game. Which will hopefully be ready in January. I hope. Fingers crossed. Anyway, we had to take into account the same thing that Johannes talked about concerning. Well, when we were doing the characters, we needed them to stand out from the environment. So I did this little picture with these small spheres, sort of Samus Aran inspired spheres, which are the players. So that's the players, the spheres with X on them. Yeah, all right, that's true. Here. So those are the players in different environments, and the white spheres are spells or abilities that the players shoot at each other, because they need to have a really good readability, like your stuff, I guess.
Yeah, even more so because you're doing more like a lot of skill shot based things.
You guys just run towards each other.
Yeah, exactly. We have some power ups as well, but they're not. Or well, they will be skill shots, so we will be doing the same thing, but they're not implemented yet, so it hasn't. Or they haven't been implemented in the new version yet.
But as Louise said, this is an important thing to
take into account.
Yeah, exactly. So, and you know,
this is really useful.
Because you have different, like, these could all be different environments. The number 3 here could be a winter setting, because the background is slightly lighter, and the objects are slightly darker. But the important thing to keep in mind is that always do this kind of stuff to simplify and keep it like a small window at the top of your screen, so you don't lose track of it.
Exactly. I like to have the preview window in Photoshop open, so you don't need to zoom out. Let's see, where do we have the layers?
Antlers.
Yeah, where's the layer menu? I think it's there. Let's see, because I have a bunch of different versions here. Like this is also with a different set of paths, an older version. But this is probably the horn version we're going with again, because it reads better from a distance. Because we want you to be able to tell which character you are or where your character is, like in split second type thing.
How many characters are you going to have on the screen on the same time?
And we're having 8 characters.
That's a lot of characters.
That's a lot of characters. As the game set up, you can do you can play both locally and online and combine the two. So it's up to 8 players. And we're also doing like mentioned in the chat, we're doing a 50-50 split of male and female characters, and all of them are intended to have like very unique styles or silhouettes.
All right.
So we want to be able to discern them as easily as possible from each other. But this is the first one. I'm also currently like sketching on the female version, or the female character, the rework of the female character. So this one is called the Chieftain, which is the sort of tone we wanted to go with for the male character. And then we are I'm currently doing the Shield Maiden as well.
All right.
Which is intended to be the female sort of iconic Viking character.
Valkyrie inspired, I guess.
Exactly. I have it, or I have a bunch of sketches of it. Let's see, very rough here.
Yeah.
So let's see. So
That's a huge shield. I like the huge shield.
Yeah. So
It's a
what
shield.
what I'm trying to do
Yeah.
here is like I talked about silhouette. I wanted her to stand out a lot from the chieftain. And you can also see the actual first sketch I did of the chieftain there.
Yeah, that's good.
So I wanted to like put the focus a lot on the using the legs and the shield for silhouette on her, as opposed to the axe and the antlers and the shoulders.
All right.
But this is sort of very early work in progress.
I like the reverse thing with the braid. That the chieftain has a braid on his torso, and Shieldman has it like a huge on her back.
Exactly, which is also one of those things that we want to use, because they are supposed to sort of complement each other, much like the first two characters I showed. But we felt that it's like resource-wise, that wasn't a great idea. It was sort of an interesting experiment to do one male and one female that are very similar. But given the fact that we will probably have like the time to do between 4 and 8 characters.
All right.
If we make 2 of them really similar, that means that there are essentially like 2 to 4 styles of characters that players can choose from.
All right.
So we instead decided to match them up more like style-wise. So these 2 are the iconic like Viking pair. And then we have like a couple of other sets of like non-human characters and so on.
Nice.
But we want them to be like really still really different.
The other characters, are they all gonna be Vikings, or
they're Viking inspired, like from Viking, but from like Viking mythology and that type of thing as well.
Didn't you have a blue guy? Was he a character for the game? The big blue troll thing?
That's for exactly. We have that one as well. I think it's
troll.
Troll. Exactly. This is also a type of playable character that we're sort of playing around with, which is the this is the ice giant.
All right.
Which is for another game mode which we're working on, which is called a giant problem. Because our game is mostly pun based.
Awesome.
So this is sort of also really work in progress. But here you can actually see how I work, because this is the line art with just some quick colors thrown in.
Yeah.
Whereas like the head and torso, I've started to render, so it's sort of do an actual illustration from.
yeah, you render away the line art. Kind of.
Exactly. What I do is I actually I have the line art on a separate layer, so I can. This gets a bit technical, but I lock the transparency, so I can only paint on the line art, and then I paint colors on the lines, and then after that I paint over it to remove it entirely. But so this is also another like playable character for one of the players in the game mode is intended to be play this giant, which you can only kill like under certain circumstances. So all the other players, for instance, actually that is one of the ways. If you manage to pick up Mjolnir, you can kill the giant, for instance.
How often someone wants to get in? No?
Yeah,
It's
probably.
occupied. Yes, Petter?
Just one of the guys at our studio that is interrupting us. I don't know what he wants.
Card and I reminded us that we should move on to the next game. But I think we could. Can we give a brief summary? No, a brief feedback session for Johannes' characters.
Yeah.
Like the
Okay,
Viking
crash
and
course stuff.
Yeah. You start, and then I can put in my stuff as well.
Okay, no, just go crazy.
Okay. All right. So I thought about this the other day actually. That I'm gonna draw it on your.
That's fine.
Make a layer. Yeah.
Yes.
I actually created separate save files for these anyway, so it's not.
Okay. Yeah. There we go. Okay. I thought that I really like the horned antler thing. And I think that you can sort of like put in more. It's more of a horny feel, I was supposed to say. No, maybe make the horns even bigger. Like if you have seen, you probably played like Malfurion from League of Legends.
Yeah.
No, Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah.
And he has these huge horns. And maybe not like exactly in this.
Yeah, just exaggerating the shapes even further.
Exactly.
I think it's your going for.
Precisely, because that's basically key to get like a good readability from a distance. I think the scales could be even like larger as well if you really want to go all Disney.
Yeah.
Disney actually has
Fairly small.
They have barely any details because they have to animate everything.
Yeah.
But
and like this probably could I don't know, just be a bracelet, you know, with no stuff in it. But the tattoo is amazing. I like it. I think that should have like a huge exaggerated color value.
That's actually the intention. The tattoo is meant as a way to put player color on the character.
Because,
that's true. Like in Warcraft.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was just going to say that because your shield maiden is we're talking about how to get those two to connect, sort of. And the fact that he had a braid in the front and she has one in the back is amazing because it connects them so beautifully. But I would actually just get rid of this and focus on having this awesome tattoo thingy.
That's true. That's
we,
awesome.
We've discussed that a bit as well. In the
He
team
should be bald under the helmet.
Yeah. I think that would be cool. Just get like, and then have his ridiculously oversized neck.
Yeah.
Because that could be like a bull.
Yeah,
really
exactly.
Cool neck. And as a final thing, maybe you could put some more flavor in the axe.
Yeah, I think if you pull up the top layer, the variant 6 there, we have some additional that one.
But I don't see where it is.
The big inscription thing on the near the blade.
Oh, I wasn't talking about that actually. I was talking about actually reshaping the blade a bit.
Yeah, okay.
So maybe I know this isn't very Viking, but you know you're also going for a Disney-esque feel.
Yeah.
Have like this thing sticking out, like a big antler part of the axe being like made of bone or something that connects to the wood.
Yeah, I think our designer would have a stroke if I did that.
Oh really?
Yeah, we have a lot of discussions because I'm a lot of the form over function type thing as an artist, whereas he is like really into realism in like function. So we actually have a lot of discussions on like
Game
weapons.
Doesn't need to function.
No, that's what I'm saying as well.
Because you need, like as Luis, readability from afar, and also like a crack like this, I don't think that's gonna barely noticeable.
No,
and that's also why I tell the 3D artists at Hard Studio, you can't have details that small. You need to exaggerate.
Actually, you should. If if you're having a discussion at your studio, you should just minimize them to the shape, to the size they're going to be on screen. And I mean, already here we have a problem.
Yeah.
Not just because it's line art. I mean.
No.
But for example, for this one, you see that it's a very good shape and stuff. And I think there is gonna be a very readable difference between those two. But for example, here, if you have hair in the neck over the tattoo, I think the tattoo is gonna disappear.
And we love the tattoo.
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna do that. That's probably what I'll be looking into after lunch.
So, but this is a constant battle, like artists versus designers.
Yeah. It looks like the axe has a pigtail.
Yeah, you painted very beautifully.
Yes.
My God, such constant.
Shall we move on to the next game?
Yeah.
Yes, I think actually we're just gonna have. Yeah, it was half an hour. We discussed a bit earlier because those two, your projects are actually kind of similar with.
Artistically, at least.
Yeah, artistically, in style, in sort of how you play compared to our game, because our game is first person realism. So if we don't have the time, I said we should focus on your projects, and then maybe we could have another stream if this is actually fun to watch.
If there's an interest, we've talked about making this sort of a regular thing as well.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
But all right, let's talk Ruin. So Ruin is, as I mentioned before, how how do you say it? It's a
MOBA?
top-down. Yeah, it's a top-down brawler with MOBA-inspired elements. Main difference is that you control the character with WASD. So they have a WASD control, and it's very skill shot based. So it's like very short matches, like 3-minute tops, and the focus is action and just chaos and going haywire on your friends.
We also got some linked concept art.
We did.
Yeah.
We gotta watch that.
I
Yeah.
tried making some concept art using your tips from Vilno.
Alright.
Making
Just-
air brawl, right?
Can we look?
Yeah, we're gonna look. Oh my god!
Oh wow, that is
First,
awesome.
you have to show
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
That's so pretty.
That
Thank
is-
you.
We've actually received fan art. That's
Woo!
amazing.
We gotta have that as our stream thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're keeping this. Right.
Someone made improvements as well.
Oh really?
Oh my
Let's see
god.
here. This is amazing. We should do this
Yeah.
more often.
Yeah.
Well,
That's-
is that
that's
cake
the best.
or a tiny boat or
I
dynamite?
think it's a bomb or something.
Is
like
it a
her
bomb?
name
Yeah.
was her.
I thought it was a cake with a strawberry.
And, yeah. It's sort of lacking me having like tied Victor to like railway tracks. Just standing
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
But you
I'm
do,
totally gonna make that as an art piece at
Do
some
that.
point, I think.
but you do realize now you actually gotta get a hat for the next one.
You did
Yeah.
a top hat.
And a
Alright.
mustache.
This is amazing, but we gotta like
Yeah.
push on, show us
a
the stuff.
nuclear button.
Got
not-
that.
So yeah, we can talk about that more later. I have some. Speaking of readability, that's actually
Yeah.
like one of the main concerns.
Yes.
Okay, so Ruin.
Yeah.
I can start maybe with showing a screenshot from where the game is at right now.
You could just right click and then open in Photoshop if you want to. You know.
Yeah,
Just
a FYI.
yeah.
All right. So.
Yeah, so you've been in production for quite a lot longer.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But that's basically because we basically redid all the graphics for the game and has been doing that for the entire summer. For various reasons, we had a sci-fi look at the game first, and we all thought that was really cool. But well, for different reasons, we can go into detail later about that. We decided that we're actually all fantasy nerds and geeks, and that's really our comfort zone and what we love to do. So we decided to remake the whole thing. And right now, what we see on the
Isn't
screen.
this the second time you're remaking all the graphics? You had the Warframe type, really
Yeah, and then we had
serious science fiction thing first.
Yes, and then we had the more whimsical sci-fi thing for a short time, and then we decided let's just do what we want basically.
Yeah.
So this is a screenshot from our current arena. We're gonna have several of them. Each arena is gonna have a different game mechanic. This one has a big flower in the middle that if you run into it, you get it like kind of like pushes you away.
Yeah.
Oh right, Ruin is actually more like a sumo wrestling game. You're supposed to knock the enemies out of the into a dangerous hazard area in the arena, and that dangerous area gets larger, so the safe field gets smaller
kind
over
of-
time.
We call it King of the Hill or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Like,
kind of
exactly.
real inspired. Yeah. If you guys have played Warlock for the VC3, the Warlock mod for VC3, it's very inspired by that. We're trying to get more depth into the gameplay. So here we have our first character actually, whose project name was the Bear Chief. So it's funny that we have the same chief name.
Yeah.
This guy had a big book on his back. That was the back thing we wanted to show. Let's see if we can bring up some concept art for that guy.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Almost said Beer Chief, but that's our game. Yours is Bear Chief.
Ah, thank you. Yeah, so, well, the concept here doesn't show his back that much. Well, we made a lot of we made a lot of concepts for what he should be carrying on his back. First, it was a stone tablet. Then I suggested it was a magic book because he was supposed to be this wise old ogre bear chieftain kind of. And then we made a book shield that eventually became the thing he's wearing in game. Because these details, like the this paw over here, was way too small actually for the final thing.
Yeah, the second biggest enemy of the graphics artist is the camera angle.
Exactly.
Um,
That is basically the core, but that has to be like the core thinking when you do graphics for your game.
Yeah.
Like what camera angle is this? If it is like a third-person shooter or a top-down game, you need to
Yeah.
focus on the shoulder
Yeah.
part.
Third person especially.
Yeah.
And in
Top
first
down you
person,
need to
yeah, in first person it's arms.
yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about your
So,
It's
because basically this area
having
here,
made 2 first person games or so, yeah.
because this area here basically won't ever be noticed really.
Mm.
So you can't put like bracelets on this guy and rings on his toes and I don't know
And
stuff.
do a like
Small
really
thorns here.
fancy loincloth,
Yeah, exactly. No, that's like
which
how
I
to do that.
totally didn't do on the first concept.
No, not of course
Not at all.
No.
But what's going on in Ruin right now is we're actually, since we're going to Comic-Con in Stockholm, here in Sweden, I decided to bring the current roll-up I'm working on for the game.
Yeah, which is exactly the type of thing we have behind us here.
Yeah, that's the old
Essentially
roll-up.
really big posters.
Yeah, exactly. For those that doesn't know what a roll-up is.
Yeah.
So we actually changed the Ruin logo a bit.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, we haven't really made a public thing out of this yet, but we're going to. So you guys get a bit of a preview, actually.
Yeah, same thing with our stuff. I think there's actually like game. I think I spoiled like game modes we haven't announced publicly yet.
But that's
This
also,
is actually the good part about being indie
Yeah.
game studios, because like, do you have NDAs?
No.
Nah.
we have you guys.
We just promise you stuff and then we do other
try
stuff.
to do it. Yeah. So my basic thought for this, like, well, the conundrum right now is that I probably would like to add one more color to this
Yeah,
color theme
Yeah.
to make it stand out. Because now I feel it's, for one thing, it's too much like Dota. It has the fire thing from below.
yeah.
And I have been thinking about putting purple in there. I can show you the beta sign up page, because that's basically the same colors, but with that
Yeah, I
color.
don't know the.
And there we go. This is a work in progress. Work in progress.
I think
And I'm
everything
trying
here
out-
is work in progress.
Yeah, of course. But I wanted to hear your guys' opinions on like color setup for this new.
I'm just gonna be boring. I've been to a few shows like in San Francisco and in Köln, in the GameX, the Gamescom. I don't know. They're all called SGC, something got games.
Gamescom Development
and-
Collection.
Yeah. So the basics for when making a roll up is the same here. This part is essentially kind of, let's have the layers. So for you guys, if you don't know what a roll up is, this is like the thing you put sometimes in front of your booth when showing the game, or sometimes behind, which usually happens. So in general, this part just disappears. It's like, don't put details here. And I mean, you did a very good job just mounting. There you go.
Yeah.
If you see this, it's a mountain, but it's not very essential.
Yeah.
So you did very well in having like your studio logo up here, the important part up here, not on unless we have some of our stuff behind here. We learn all the time. So yes, about adding a new color, I would definitely say put something more. Think of the picture like zoom in like this, and try to watch the composition from this angle as well.
All right.
Since it's going to be the most important part. And I would say take a color that complements the red and orange or yellow. I guess you will go for purple because it's a complementary color for yellow, right?
Yeah. Well, actually, my source of inspiration, if you guys have seen the intro to Aladdin, Arabian Nights.
The
They have, like, the red
cave.
Well, it's actually even before. It's before the first song. Do you guys want to bring it up?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So just YouTube Aladdin, Arabian Nights.
Oh wait, can we do that? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, copyrighted. We'll just show stuff.
It might get auto muted on
Aladdin.
on YouTube though.
Oh, that's okay. Oh, maybe it's not.
I just want to show like the picture of it. Why do I have so much?
Arabian Night, not Ravian Night. Rave Night.
Arabian. Why is there
Arabian.
bees in there? I do not Arabian.
Well, we can probably show like just a picture. Right?
Did you mean like?
Let's see here. Sorry
yeah.
for the delay, people. And we also have a YouTube commercial we need to watch.
Yahoo!
Yeah.
Uh,
We're supporting the hardworking shoe industry currently.
Maybe
See
you
here.
can actually just find a picture.
I hope.
Update your shoe drop at
It's sort of this one, but it's like the second before. All right, here we go.
There.
Ta-da!
All right. Can you like print screen it or something? Just
I think
Yeah,
so.
print screen it and just paste it in Photoshop.
Which one is the print screen?
there. Print screen. I think no.
No.
We're
There.
tech savvy indie developers.
And controller.
No.
I
You print-
print
you
screen.
print-
Yes,
screen
yes,
the-
print screen.
yeah.
And then
And
you
then
drag
move
it
it.
like.
Oh, there we go. Here we go.
So that was like your main inspiration.
Yeah, color-wise. No,
Yeah, that was.
I did not mean to invert.
Oh. And wood. That's
Yeah.
good. Yeah, you can definitely see inspiration.
Walt Disney Pictures presents Target Studio.
We're not the only ones looking at Disney, at least for.
Yeah.
Okay.
Disney is awesome for inspiration.
Yeah.
That's
would-
where I got the purple from, anyway.
Yeah, the purple is nice. I would say they
I think
went.
it's not high contrast enough. Like,
No, I would probably go with, if I'm gonna use the purple, I would probably like go down to the cooler
Uh-huh.
variations because you have a lot of heat in the
Yes.
rest of the poster.
Love heat.
Yeah. So you want to contrast that as much as possible.
Yeah.
Probably anyway.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah. I'd probably go darker as well with the. With
Can you
the
do like an
purple.
overlay?
I was just thinking about.
That does nothing. I think.
If you put it on like overlay or vivid light or something, maybe it'll do the trick.
Or you can do this because this is really like my favorite thingy to do.
Oh, okay.
Like you make a totally black layer, not in overlay, but in color dodge. And why is it not
Jesus.
black?
You mean no color? I think. If you want to make it completely black.
No, this is wrong.
Oh.
Wait. Remake. Okay, this is absolutely black, right?
Yes.
Again,
Yes.
we're working on our credibility as tech savvy indie developers.
And then you put it in color dot. Why is it doing that? It's not supposed to do that.
Can be a maybe if it's a smooth picture or RGB.
Yeah.
Does that matter?
Maybe. Image mode. Change to RGB, don't flatten. There, okay, that's, it's not
Okay.
supposed to
Okay.
change. And then you just use the purple stuff.
Ah, there we go.
Yeah, they maybe don't have to do that. But this is still my favorite, absolute favorite way to make glow
Ah, okay.
paintings.
Ah.
Because it,
I like the purple fire.
wow, my computer is not liking having this many pictures up at the same time.
Work, damn you!
Yeah, but if you wanna like add stuff for
Reminds me of Vegas.
oh well,
So that would actually be an interesting art direction, going for like Las Vegas fantasy.
Yeah, that's true.
anyways,
I think
that's
that would be Hercules though, which is another Disney movie.
True.
yeah.
But I like, yeah, I'll have to remember the color dodge thing.
Yeah, it's just I was given it from some Henrik when we were having a workshop stuff, and it's
Okay.
just amazing compared to using the.
I've
layer.
always had issues with glow
Hmm.
Yeah.
as well, so that's really handy.
But I think you could go for purple, but I personally wouldn't do it because I'm so stuck in Hollywood measure that you're supposed to have, like, you know, the green and the blue and the orange.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like, you know, Hollywood color.
Yeah.
Um,
Every movie poster.
because everything looks beautiful in blue and orange.
Yeah. Like artists, that's the easiest complementary color set to work with, because essentially no matter what hue you're using of orange and blue, they always work.
Yeah.
But you probably, I actually think you could pull off just adding purple somewhere. I'm guessing you weren't going to. You were thinking of a composition.
You could also do a dark purple gradient for the sky behind it to sort of. I'm not sure, since you don't have a layer structure here, that's probably going to be really hard to do.
Yeah, I usually just mush my letters together.
Yeah.
I like that.
Let's see. It ends up over here. New layer. So what I'm thinking is I am gonna show it like right on top of this. I think we're gonna do a gradient tool. Do this.
It's kind of odd that it's so different working in someone else's
Yeah.
Photoshop. Where are my hotkeys?
Yeah, exactly. It's
where are my hotkeys? Where are my brushes?
Whereas essentially everything.
I actually have my brush on R, so I have eraser.
This much really weird, but like just show what I'm talking about. Like you could do some type of gradient from like in the background.
Can we cross out the Disney picture because it really annoys me?
Okay, yeah, cross out the Disney picture, and
we could.
You can take away my layer as well, just to show.
Like something now it unfortunately ruins the.
Ruin.
The puns.
That will never get old.
No.
Nope.
But like doing this for the background.
Yeah.
Like you could put this dark purple somewhere here behind this, so we can see if we.
Like
the opacity.
Carl and I likes the Las Vegas fantasy idea.
I'm gonna pitch that to the studio.
No, it's not my idea.
Yeah, exactly. we could do a game jam.
That's true.
But you could do something like this.
That's a theme for a game jam. Las Vegas fantasy.
Yeah, I think so. Like this type of thing.
Yeah, it really brings out the flames.
Yeah, exactly. That was sort of the.
Yeah, so focus like having the blue sky in the background and then the fire from.
Exactly, but still sort of keeping the heat like further down the picture.
Yeah.
Because this is just doing like the typical complementary color trick. You could probably do it with the blues as well if you want to go even more like traditional. Possibly like a bit desaturated, or as you don't want the blue to take. Let's see. That much focus. This also very well showcases my inability to do two things at the same time, so I can't draw and talk.
Try to ruin the blue stuff so you get the yellow.
Exactly. So like something more like this. Yeah, you could probably pull the blue down like the gradient even further, so it sort of at least ends up behind the ruin text as well. But if you wanted to like be more have higher contrast, so it sort of grabs attention more.
Yes, I think I know what you mean. I could actually show it in one of my concepts. I think for my characters, even if I think we are not gonna have so much time talking about it, it's sort of like what I did with the glow thingy. No, that's not.
This is amazing roll-up.
This is okay. Now we're just jumping projects a bit. This is my project, and it's a horror game. But you could also like put the blue behind the logo. I think it's what Johannes was going for.
Yeah.
Like making this like there's a blue shine from behind, but not have it so prominent. Like it's not gonna be like a stripe all over the banner because you don't want that.
No, exactly.
But yeah, it's sort of functions like an element to bring out the core design of the logo, which for some reason ended up with these flames. The logo itself is just the actual stone thing. Ow.
I really like how you rework because it's still recognizable as your old sci-fi logo, but with like a distinct fantasy feel to it.
Yeah, do you have the old logo or somewhere?
I have it on my shirt.
Oh,
There you go.
Wait,
All right.
Wait,
I can.
we gotta connect back to the server. Las Vegas fancy. Dang.
But I don't think I have like a picture. But I
No.
can still show my shirt, I guess.
Yeah.
Sure. Where is it?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
can we take up our streaming window so we see it in real time?
I don't know where our streaming is.
It's that one. Black one, showing them.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
So this is the old logo, and he has an ink stain for some reason. What happened
That's
in the
not
wash?
supposed to be
No,
there.
it's happened in the wash.
You've got blue on you.
Yeah.
He's a murderer, Smurf.
So this one is significantly different to that one, but it still has the
Core elements, like
Yeah.
the compositional elements.
Yeah. You just changed like the silhouette in the bottom, but then I mean the circle and the shape is the same.
As well as the font, but I think the font isn't on the.
No, it's on my back.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I really like this idea. Lately I've been more into this whole having, I mean, for example, if you make this game and then you make another game,
Mhm.
you just reincorporate the logo as a symbol for that world.
Yeah.
And it just,
It's
you
sort
can
of
get so much flavor when
Mhm.
you're reusing stuff.
like every Final Fantasy logo has the same style.
Mm.
They're really cool.
It's like
Yeah.
over the top details.
Yeah.
But they're
And then like this gradient of color splashed
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah.
But I have one question for you guys. I have been thinking about the text for the logo.
Mm.
I don't know. Do you guys feel that it's befitting to the logo, or do you think that it's like it needs more that, more this, or just keep it as it is? It's awesome.
I like that you connected. It's the same gradient, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
over both. I might be, what do you call it? Impartist.
Impartial.
Yeah,
Impartial.
because I've seen this so many times. I know exactly what the game is, and I just feel like, yeah, it looks good.
Oh, well. Johannes, you haven't seen it that many times, I hope.
No, I've still seen it a lot, I think, but not as much as you have. But I like it. The only thing that I'm thinking of currently is like graphic design is not my strong suit. But it's that it's significantly weighted on account of you do the small I in like everything, so that's part of like your brand, I suppose. But it sort of means that it's heavily weighted to the left.
Oh, you mean like that?
Yeah. So this side feels like more impactful. It seems more important. So it feels like a bit divided between two halves. Which
right.
I suppose like could work with this, but then it would be interesting if you actually made that more apparent, like you mirrored the logo in that you did the text around some type of central point as well.
All right.
Maybe like you intentionally split it.
All right. Interesting.
Or you try to work it out, maybe by like decreasing the size of the U as well, or something similar.
Yeah, because
just make sure that it feels balanced.
Yeah, it doesn't have the curve.
Exactly.
That's
It has a bit due to this one, but
Yeah.
not quite. So that your like lines of action in the font as well work, and that the like compositional balance of the font.
Yeah.
But I like the sense of it because it's not super serious, but it's not super playful either, which I think is a good fit for the game.
Nice.
And so this is like nitpicking on the severest level.
Really, who would care if you do this better?
Exactly.
I mean,
It's like 3 graphic designers
I guess,
in the world that will care.
but your art stuff is good.
What are you searching for?
Yeah, I just wanted to check out this again because I haven't gotten to actually watch it very closely. I just really like the new style, and it reminds me of if you played like the classic Jack and Dexter. The temples in the first world in the jungle. It's just, I love that game. I actually played it laying down, upside down in my couch even. But I really like the new style because you simplified it quite a lot, I think.
We did,
Took away a lot of details and it just works really well.
Yeah, that was sort of interesting. We discussed that before the stream because we are currently like going through both our projects are
Yeah.
essentially going through the same thing of this, like trying to make the graphics more like elegant and simplified,
Yeah.
to make them read better. Because I think that like for both of us, this is the first time we've worked on a top-down game.
It is. Yeah.
Um,
I've been doing it for a while, but I haven't.
Yeah.
It's like I was so stupid before. I was young. Can we put up your Cardinal says we have 5 minutes left.
Yeah. I mean, technically we could.
We can continue forever because it's.
I never liked.
I would like to
anyway.
I've got to go to the bank.
But I would like to, before we finish, we can show a bit of your pictures and kind of like tease for the next episode.
Yeah.
Ah.
We're gonna do this next time. So
Okay. Yeah. So
it's
this
gonna be
was
awesome.
this time was kind of heavy on. Actually, we just been generally talking a lot.
Yeah.
I guess this is.
It sort of shows that it's the first
Yeah.
stream, so we just have
Yeah.
a lot to get into.
Where is there.
Stay inside the view.
No,
Yeah,
no,
not right
I'm,
now.
I'm
You're slipping away, man.
yeah.
Okay, so I'm just gonna put up the.
We have a Cerberus in ruin. Yeah.
Cerberus!
I really like the colors on this one though. I just have to say, like the black.
Yeah,
And then the
I just have to
green.
say that Victor, he gave me this very nice compliment, like, oh, I didn't, it was so good, I didn't think it was you who made it. Thank you.
The
Like,
anti-compliment.
thank you.
Well, you know,
But I take it as a compliment. I'm not gonna, you know.
I got that for a ruin concept recently, and I thought it was a compliment.
Well, that I suppose that depends on the amount of artistic self-loathing that one has.
One should always
Okay.
have a fair amount of artistic
Yeah,
self-loading.
I,
Yeah.
I try to sort of curate mine so
What
that
is
it's
that?
super efficient.
It's random crap.
It's random crap.
Yes.
That's the fiercest creature in all of the labyrinth. Random
It's
crap.
random crap. Yeah, so
And
this,
sort of Medusa has let
And
herself
you
go.
do this in like what an hour each?
yeah, these are roughly 1 hour and 50 minutes, but they are really ugly if you zoom in. For example, as in, this just shows, like.
Yeah, but this is actually really interesting to showcase as well, because this is a significantly different technique,
Yeah.
which is well called photo bashing.
Yeah.
Which is
And
sort
it's
of
awesome.
a mixture of using photos and painting,
I love
which is way
Uh,
harder
yeah.
than it looks. Yeah,
I
it's
really
grabbing.
like this part
Yes,
where
he
it's
just-
like I have a arm for a leg that I'm holding onto a leg
Yep.
that holds onto my arm that it's attached to my shoulder.
Okay, let's
I
just.
would like to see that one animated just to see
Yeah.
how it would move about.
Our animator wasn't very happy seeing that one.
I can see him just going like, no, that's
he,
not gonna
he
happen.
still hasn't recovered.
Just the basic idea for this was it's gonna be an underwater like an octopus monster that slithers into a human body and then just start picking up parts. So it actually has, it holds human parts that holds itself up.
That's severely gross.
Yeah, that's
that-
what I do
that-
for a living.
I do gross stuff.
So this is actually what I wanted to have feedback on because I'm currently sitting on monsters for our game.
Mhm.
And since we are a small studio, we're not gonna be able to make all of these, obviously.
No.
So we're just actually gonna have to focus on one, and that can be quite a scary process to like choose one monster.
Yeah.
Like this is gonna be our monster.
It's sort of the monster that makes or breaks the game.
Yeah. And I could also show just really quick, since this is my computer. Haha,
Yeah, but
Medusa.
we're all like fairly. I mean, for
Um,
indie studios, we're not super small teams, but we're still small teams.
And this is
Yeah.
also some of the environments that we are thinking of. For
It
the
looks a
game.
bit cold for Greece.
Yes, because it's a snow curse.
Oh,
Because we were
like
just
in Frozen.
yeah.
Like
Sorry.
Also the monsters, like in Frozen.
So the problem
yeah.
I think
So,
I would want
Yeah.
feedback on is also since we just made this change to the environment because we wanted a more unique environment than just ancient Greece.
Yeah.
So we mixed it up with snow since it matches so well with the white marble.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
falling out of the frame again.
Don't slip.
Ah,
But yes, the main issue would be if there's snow, the monsters maybe not should be naked because it could contrast poorly.
I think it would be interesting because what you're doing is like applying. I think the term is applying reskin as far
Yeah.
as design goes.
Yeah, Feng
That's
Shui.
the Feng Shui, which
Yes,
is
I
like
watched
the
Feng Shui.
yeah, and it's like I think a spirit animal
We all
for
watch
all of
Feng
us.
Shui.
Exactly. But that sort of because when I saw this like a couple of weeks ago on
My feed.
like on your feed, and it actually really grabbed my attention. I thought it was really cool because the like color palette. Ha! You see, we have too many puns in the game. It's I'm also from Gothenburg, so that
You're
doesn't help.
sleeping again. What
Yeah.
is this?
Yeah,
Okay.
this is horrible.
Uh,
I'm trying to get away from the monsters.
Yeah.
But I really like it because it's a very like monochromatic color palette, which means that you'll have a really easy time to put focus points in the environment using, for instance, like fire,
Red,
yeah, orange and reds, especially in if the environment becomes darker as well. But like personally, I really like that. But what I would like to do, if you went with that angle, is that you apply the same type of or a fitting type of reskin to the monsters, which are amazingly messed up in a very good way. But to make them feel like they're at home in a winter environment.
Yeah.
At least if they're going to be mainly outside. If they're indoors, it's not as much. Like if you went with the Minotaur, it would be sensible if it was more of a labyrinth, like indoors.
I disagree. Can I do that?
Yeah.
Can I disagree?
No,
Yes.
it was. I was thinking when I saw the snow thing.
Yeah.
And I thought that all these monsters are like very like a dark value.
Yeah.
And the environments are very white. That makes them stand out very much. And that's
Yeah.
a good thing, right? You need to have
Well,
readability.
the
on
question
all
is
this.
that really hard?
Depending on, like, for instance, if we look at like Amnesia or similar type of horror games, they tend to put the value range of the monster really close to the environment, so that you essentially do the I'm not seeing anything, and then you turn around and the monster's here.
You love that. We all love that.
Yeah.
I hate
No,
it.
I
but
stayed
my-
up all night to play Amnesia on release. I regretted that decision.
Yeah. But anyway, my point was that I would really like to see this half-naked Minotaur creature in the snowy environment, but with in the texture you can sort of like hint that it's really
Frostbite.
cold. Yeah, it has frostbite. Like it's like purple black
Yeah,
and
you
the arms.
can-
Yeah, exactly.
If you zoom in on the Minotaur,
Let's see.
I really like the idea because we talked about
Let's see, you can zoom
Okay.
because different shortcuts. I'm probably going to
Yeah.
do something
That's
horrible.
the Minotaur was actually our first monster,
Mm.
and the idea was to actually have something even bigger and more badass, ripping his arm off. So it's just he's gonna stump
right.
that you're gonna hear his walk. It's gonna be very because in
Yeah.
horror sound is very important. So
Yeah.
the walk is gonna be like a dum, 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 dum. And you're
Wow,
gonna
now we got a
Shaky.
screen shake as well.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That was my compliment to the horror game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
As well.
We should have dimmed the lights, but the lights is unfortunately
the
the
same.
sun.
Yeah, the same was for his design. Like here, I wanted to have like like whales, like blowholes.
Uh-huh.
So he would have this like wheezing sound, like
Oh, yeah.
thingy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But
In a horrible way.
yes, in a horrible way.
I also think that like your animator must be really stressed out.
It's okay.
Yeah.
He gets chocolates and cookies.
Yeah. It's like, well, we're doing
It's all
this,
the
which
money.
is a three-legged Minotaur monster, or we're doing this, which grabs its own arms and legs. And
Or the spider thing with 7.5 legs or
Yeah.
something.
yeah.
Legs out of his mouth. But the
but
creature design
yes,
is awesome.
What I was going to say about when because this is an old design,
Uh-huh.
but when I start to think about it in the snow,
Yeah.
the frostbite thing actually got to me because it could be that the arm just froze and he's smashed it,
Oh yeah,
tore
that's
it
true.
off.
Woke up one day and like this isn't working.
And then we also thought about having this is nothing for the game that's decided as well.
Alright.
We
So
just say crap our team doesn't know, okay? But
Yeah.
I was really into having the snow and cold as a part of the horror game because if you don't have the torch, you get cold.
Yeah.
And if you get cold, you can't angle your bow. You can't because you're gonna be shaking.
Exactly. It's actually that would be interesting for like if any
Like
of
you
you
can't
play
aim for shit.
Skyrim. There's a mod for PC which is
Yeah.
called Frostfall, which does like exactly that.
Oh wow.
Where they work with like environmental hazards. So cold is like a major factor.
Right.
I like stupid hardcore like survival mods for Skyrim. But that actually works really well to create this resource like tension based on the resources, which is great for a survival horror game.
You need to stay close to the warm fire, but if you do that,
you'll be visible.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's
playing
awesome.
playing Don't Starve during like the winter. I'm slipping there.
Because okay, we got the question: why would they be at home in the snow if the snow is new? Well,
design-wise at home.
The monster is also a part of the curse because they don't have the monsters at the beginning. It's not gonna be ancient Greece where monsters roam the place.
Exactly.
So
you're down at the forum, just hanging out and like this thing, just walking around.
We're gonna be terrible here. It's chill. What about the big dude? Nah.
It's fine.
Well, we have been overusing our time for 6 minutes. Do you guys want to continue, or should we sum it up?
We could actually sum it up, and then we could try and have lunch, do some prep for another stream, and because this was a lot of fun, and I really want to do it again. I don't know.
Should we like tell people where to find info of our games, maybe, for like a sort of a promoting purpose?
Aw, Darth Small. These designs are so horribly horrifying, but so uniquely super cool. I love you.
It should be and.
But
These are so horribly horrifying and so uniquely super cool.
Yeah.
One does not contradict the other.
Is it anything? Oh yeah, Cardinal.
Thank you, Cardinal.
Yes. Okay, wrapping it up. We had Vikings. We had some sci-fi.
I think you hid the sci-fi behind the horrible monsters.
All right.
Or the
There we had sci-fi.
No,
it is fantasy.
But it was sci-fi.
It used to be sci-fi.
Once upon a time.
Once upon a time.
Yeah, we had sci-fi. We had roll-ups as well, I guess. Yeah. And we didn't get to talk about the environments for your game.
But the environments are super sketchy still, so it's sort of
such a sketchy.
Yeah.
I really think that for our next stream we should focus on one thing.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
We probably should go more with topics. Now it's more of a general art talk.
Like just look at all the stuff.
Now we know that we can talk.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think we should get a room where the sun is not in your face.
Exactly.
For the next time.
The green for all graphics artists. It's like not having to deal with the sun.
Yeah.
Which is like
Enemy
explains the complexion of essentially all of us.
But hey, so we can do I'll be just telling the people where they can find the game I'm working on, and you guys can do the same.
Yeah.
So if you want to check out Ruin, the top-down brawler game with Bear Chief and the huge graphic rework, you can go to just go Facebook /Ruin Game, or find us on Twitter. Just type in @Tarheadstudio, and you'll find lots of info there. Or just visit tarheadstudio.com. I think that was it.
Yeah, the same as for the horror game, ancient horror game in Greece. It's either you can find us on Facebook under Eurogames, which is our derp page where we just show stuff we do at the office, like that's right here. We have the Magnetic page, which is the game we just released on Xbox and Steam. Yay! Or just the Medusa's Labyrinth. I actually never said the name of my game.
No.
Medusa's Labyrinth. Which is the horror game. It also has a Facebook.
That's Medusa, by the way.
It has a Facebook page. It's on Indie. Just Google that shit. You should find it.
Yeah, and for Thunder League, with the Vikings that run fast all the time, the party game brawler. We have a bunch of channels for that. We have the Facebook, which is Thunder League Game. We have the subreddit, which is r/ThunderLeague. We have the Twitter, which is @HellionStudios. And then we have probably 7 or 8 other. No. I think that's the main ones, which is the Facebook, the Twitter, and the Reddit.
Cool. Oh, we have a Reddit as well, r/game. I think it is.
Basically, I think all of our studios try to
Shameless
have
marketing, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
shameless marketing. Good job.
We also got the question when we will do this again, and we haven't planned that far ahead yet.
I would say just our studio been trying to have like at 11 every Tuesday.
Yeah.
So we could just try and continue this thing
Yeah.
like same time next week.
That should work. I think,
exactly.
yeah.
There will be. I think they talked about they will be doing different topics as well, so we won't be able to do this every week,
No.
unfortunately. But that means we have more time to do. Like we could maybe do something bi-weekly because we work in like bi-weekly sprints, so that means I'll
Alright.
always have new material every 2 weeks.
Nice. Our sprints are 2 weeks long, so. Yeah. But that sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we say bye?
Yes.
I think we should. So, well, thanks for watching.
Thank you for the fan art.
Yeah, and
That
the
was
fan art.
amazing.
I've never had fan art of me as a person before.
No,
that
same
feels really good,
Yeah.
actually.
I
That,
feel like it's
that's sort of a
rockstar.
like bucket list milestone
Yeah.
type thing.
No, I can actually say there's fan art of me.
Exactly.
This was.
There we go.
Oh,
Wow.
It's beautiful.
and yours, you look so evil.
I know. on the picture too.
And like your hands are like this chicken legs.
Yeah, I do. I have super long T-Rex arms, which is interesting. Like, conceptually speaking.
Yeah, let's make this into an actual. We could like make a. Never mind. I'm having a very bad idea right now. Very fun to have you watching us. This was
Yeah.
a lot of fun, and we're gonna make sure that our studios continue to work together.
Yeah, and we'll try to announce it a bit like more
Earlier.
ahead of time.
Yeah. Not the same morning, like we're doing it. Okay.
Oh my god, you're doing it.
but that was essentially our sort of process as well. Was like, when are we doing it? At 11. Okay, fine. Do we have a computer? No. Where do we find a computer? We'll take your computer.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Yeah.
Hashtag game development.
Yes.
Exactly. It's also how all of our studios work, I think. It's just
Yeah.
screaming and running around.
Yeah.
And then occasionally you sort of end up with a game.
Stuff happens.
It's like magic.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Bye.
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 Thank you.
And let's see if we actually manage to turn the stream off.
I think it's the
That one.